Andrew Tate, a professional kickboxer that for some reason, went out of his way to say that anime is for losers. And I know you could say this guy is trolling, he's just trying to get a reaction out of people, but he's ignorant on anime, he doesn't know anything about it, and even right now, you could check his Twitter, and he's trying to act as if all anime fans are these body pillow loving virgins. And he's just going out of his way to be an asshole. And what I really hate about this guy is he thinks he's the shit. Okay, now, let's be honest. The guy's a fighter. I'm not going to shit all over his record. He's 43-8 or 9, I believe. And that's pretty good. You know what I mean? Dude could probably kick your ass. And he probably has a semi-successful dating life. Now, dude likes to think he's like some model. Like, you ain't no model, all right? You're 6 foot. You're like my height. I wouldn't date you. I like dudes. I wouldn't date you. You don't do nothing for me. You're average looking. So for you to act as if, like, you're the shit and shit on people who, in a lot of cases, are already down, because you gotta understand, a lot of people go to anime because they have some problems, there's some bullshit they're going through, and it helps them forget about their problems. So this dude is going out of his way to shit on people. And I hate that. I hate people who kick those who are already down, and that's what this guy is doing. So let's read some of these tweets, dissect them. There's some recent tweets which are absolutely ridiculous. They're ridiculous. They're just stupid. The first one. If you are over 15 and like cartoons, you are a loser. So, can't you say the same thing about anything? Like, can't you say the same thing about if you like sports, you are a loser? There's stereotypes that people who like sports, they're kind of stupid, they're like meatheads, they really don't do much in their life, much productive things for society, right? You look at all the inventors. A lot of them are kind of geeky, right? And they make your life better. Your life better, right? So can't you say the same thing for just about any group of people that likes a certain thing? You know what I mean? And that's the problem, is like this dude, he's making these broad generalizations about a group of people that honestly have nothing to do with him. In fact, he probably got his ass kicked by some anime fans. That's why he's angry. Because, by the way, after he posted this tweet, there was some other fighter that actually said that he likes anime, and I bet you that guy could knock him out. So that just goes to show you, man, anime fans are everywhere. We all like different things. We're all different people. And are you saying only a 15-year-old can enjoy a series like Berserk or, Rurouni Kenshin, Trust and Betrayal? Is that what you're saying? Because if so, you just don't know about anime. Like, you don't. Because someone who's seen these things, they wouldn't say that. Because even if they don't enjoy it, they can at the very least respect someone else's preferences and not stomp all over them. And they could objectively look at that and say, you know what, this is something that people can enjoy regardless of their situation, their age, where they come from. I still play Pokemon sometimes. Get on my level, bitch. In all seriousness, if you take the entire anime genre, there's something there for everybody. You may not know it, but if you do enough digging around, I'm sure you could get someone who's never even seen anime, someone who's never really been interested in cartoons. You give them like a 5-minute clip, maybe a commercial break, and you show them a 5-minute clip of some stuff from like a really great series, maybe a more mature series. You're telling me they can't enjoy it just because it's animated? That's just dumb. You take Kung Fu Panda, right? This is an animated movie. It's not even made by the Japanese. I believe it's made by Americans, if I'm not mistaken, right? This isn't a movie that everybody claims to be like the greatest movie in the world. But if you go to the movie theaters and you go to the room where they're showcasing the movie, right, you'll see people of all ages watching that. Now, I'm not personally saying that that should be the case and, everybody from all age groups should enjoy Kung Fu Panda, like that's the standard of greatness. But doesn't that just like immediately destroy your freaking argument? Like, you'll have like grown men and old grannies watching that. You can call your grandma a loser if she's watching Kung Fu Panda, anime, Dragon Ball Z, etc. No excuse. Plus, any woman loses respect for you. Grow up. If a woman loses respect for you because you enjoy anime, she wasn't worth it. Women don't give a fuck about that, okay? He then goes on to say, I said depression wasn't real and cartoons are shit. A lot of the same people are triggered. Therefore, depressed losers love cartoons. At this point, you really gotta question this guy's IQ. Depression isn't real, really. It's not real, so then why do people commit suicide? Now, I think we actually do misunderstand mental illness, and I do feel like we over-prescribe certain things, and we label things that maybe we over-label things, right? We need to label everything nowadays. I also will agree that there are people who are depressed because of XX and X, and if they change XX and X and they go out there and, make major changes in their life, that they won't be anymore, for sure. But that does not really fully, again, explain why some people are, they're suffering from depression, they make all these changes, and they still have these periods of just feeling really down. And then you talk about anxiety, you talk about all different types of mental illnesses, and people struggle with them a lot. Now, most people overcome them, but to say it's not real is just dumb. And, I don't really know what to say about depressed losers love cartoons. There are depressed people who love cartoons. A lot of times people who are depressed are drawn to things that, help them forget about their problems, anime being one of those things, video games being another one, and you claim that people who like video games are fucking losers? All of them, they're all just fucking losers. Take a walk, skip the fantasy bullshit, maybe you'll be happier. When I go to the gym, I'll listen to some nice music, right? And guess what? I'll be fantasizing sometimes, man. And another tweet, Andrew Tate says specifically, anime, South Park was funny, Simpsons is shit, but popular, whatever. Anime is for losers. South Park, Simpsons. Actually, it's the other way around, if anything, right? Anime is better than South Park and Simpsons. And at this point, he's probably being bombarded, which rightfully so, and he throws up a picture, and it says, Sonic says, if your profile picture is from an anime, your opinion doesn't count. I'd say if you have a profile picture of a fighter, which is yourself, and you're on Twitter trying to attack the anime community for no apparent reason, just to be a jerk, I'd say that'd make your opinion countless. You think people really take you seriously? Just honestly ask yourself that. You think your peers, your peer fighters, that some enjoy anime that can kick your ass, you think they take you seriously when you're arguing with the anime community on Twitter? Don't you have more important things to worry about? He then throws up another picture, retweeting something, saying that top 10 anime fighters, and then you see him, and it's distorted, but he would never be on that list. He's just not cool enough. You're just not cool. I don't think you're cool. Only cool people can be top 10 anime villains. Yeah, that's just a terrible picture. Just please delete that immediately. So then it continues. Now there's the full-out war being waged on him, and I feel like people should, be a little bit more, I would say, write to him in a more productive way. I would personally. But then he writes, "Animes for losers was my statement, and people are proving me wrong time and time again." So then he's screenshotting a message from an anime fan. And, this anime fan says, "You telling me you don't find this shit fucking hot? God, you're so wrong." And guess what, man? People love expressing their tastes, their preferences. I personally do, whether it be, hot anime guys, you know what I mean? Or hot dudes in real life, you know what I mean? You do the same shit with, people that you talk to or whatever. Everyone does it. So for you to act like that's just abnormal is just very dishonest, quite honestly. And maybe dude's just having a good time writing you all this stuff. I know there's times when I spam my friends and they get annoyed, right? I spam them how awesome the recent Boruto episode was, or the recent Dragon Ball Super episode was, or maybe I'm watching some how to pick up girls in a dungeon, and I spam them, right? And maybe they don't respond, they just leave me on read. But then a couple days later, they'll watch a really cool episode and then they spam me. So maybe they're just having a good time. Maybe they're just having a good day writing all this stuff to you, and you're looking too much into it. That's what I think's going on. Moving on, he takes another screenshot, and he says, "Well, now I know real fear. I'm terrified." And then you got another anime fan there saying that he'll shove his foot so far up his ass and it'll come out of his mouth. Now, this guy was definitely a little bit aggressive, I'll agree. Didn't really represent the anime community in the best way, I'll agree. But at the very least, dude is smiling, and he's putting smiles on other people's faces. He's positive energies, positive vibes. All you're doing is saying negative shit, saying bullshit that's not true, and you're getting people angry. And because you might think this is all a joke and it's unimportant, right? But at the end of the day, this does affect the overall image of anime fans, who might just, want to express themselves. Maybe they're at school or whatever, but they're not going to do it now because Andrew Tate, maybe for some reason they also like fighting, or they are into kickboxing, or, whatever, right? People are into multiple different things. Now they're not going to talk about it because Andrew Tate got to be here talking about anime fans are losers, and if you like Dragon Ball Z, you're a cuck. When this dude leaves his nuts hanging out of your girl with that face, I think you're going to be deleting some of your tweets quite personally. And here's another screenshot tweet. I'm not going to keep going on with this. Like, we all know this guy's a loser, so I'm pretty much done after this. Andrew Tate says, the anime community have nothing to disapprove their loser status. Weird sexual messages and sassy feminine insults. Oddballs. And then we got, two lolis, and then some guy in the chat. Not being productive, of course. But again, not a representation of the majority of anime fans. He says, did you know I have over 500 two-dimensional daughters? All beautiful heart. Just dude's trolling, I think. You know what I mean? Is he into lolis? I don't know. I'd hope not. And if he is, keep it to yourself, bro. We all got our, little fetishes and stuff like that. But yeah, it feels like dude is trolling. And this isn't even me deflecting. I've wrote people stuff like that, and they can tell I'm not serious. Because it just sounds ridiculous. And your statements are